What is up, my people? Welcome back to another video. My name is Kashious, but obviously you can just call me Cash. Now, this is the start of a new series which I don't know what to call it yet. You can give me suggestions in the comments below what to call it. But basically, I try and solve the world's problems in a fun and great way. You know what I'm saying? Fun but factual way. All right, let's begin. So now the first thing we're going to be trying to solve is the water issues in rural communities. Apparently there is not enough water, or there's a lack of water in those communities, and the reason for that being we're not sure why there's no water in those communities. We're about to solve that issues right now. Okay, so first things first, I have this prompt open. Why is there no water in rural communities? There is still a lot to be done, with only 33% of the rural population able to access clean water. This is due to a lack of infrastructure in most schools, where there is no piped water systems. During the dry seasons, water shortage is a big challenge for schoolgoers and are forced to close down for a few days. So now, why is there a lack of clean water? Okay, now we know that there's a lack of water due to here's the problem. Let me write down the problem. The problem: lack of infrastructure and lack of access to clean water. All right, like that. All right, so now we know the two problems: lack of access to infrastructures and lack of access to clean water. Now, why is there a lack of clean water in rural communities? The reasons for a lack of clean water in sources in these rural areas: most developing countries have more than half the populations of dwelling in rural. More than half of the population is dwelling in rural communities, rural areas. Access to improved water sources is hampered by several factors. No, you always ask this question. Several means seven, but several means a lot. Okay, that's what I always ask myself every time I see this several thing. Anyways, the poor populations in these countries cannot afford the cost of putting up piped water systems in their home. Wow. So that's the reason why people don't have water, because they cannot pay for it. That's the problem right there. Okay. I think I have the solution to this. Guys. Okay, so now the question becomes, can you have something called free water? Like in our country, people who are sick can get free medical attention. Now, can it be the same as in water issues? Unless the government can subsidize the water payment for some areas, only until the government can subsidize the water price to make it cost nothing to 0 rands, then I believe the water issues can be resolved. But now the question comes, how much can the government subsidize it for? Also, does the government even subsidize these things? Let me ask. All right, I'm asking, does the government, how do you spell government? Government subsidize water prices? Because if they don't, damn, we're dying up in here. Hey, I spelled subsidize wrong. Subsidize. How do you spell this shit? With a Z, maybe. Yeah. Oh, like that. Subsidize. Okay. Anyways, while many factors contribute to water pricing, such as energy used to pump water, the prices of chemicals for treatment costs, recent infrastructure project and operations efficiency. The difference in several Western cities can apparently be explained by government subsidy. Does the government subsidy after water pricing? Well, many factors contribute. Okay, fine. You're just repeating what we just said. So maybe yes, no. It's a yes no answer. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But the majority of subsidies go to, but yes, majorities of subsidies goes to water, urban and networked services. A better balance across water and sanitation, rural and urban, and different types of services. Okay, now the question becomes: Can we create like clean water at a very cost-effective price? Subsidies can be powerful and progressive tools in delivering water and sanitation when they are designed in smart and targeted ways and implemented effectively. Subsidies can help ensure nobody gets left behind when it comes to the affordable provision of water and sanitation. But subsidies also can't fully subsidize water so that everyone is included. We still have water issues up in this bitch. I imagine someone is like out there in the drainage taking water from a river. I'm like, all right, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. I remember there was Jeff Bezos. Well, who was that guy? Bill Gates. Bill Gates made a toilet that could clean itself, clean the impurities, the feces obviously, so that we can drink the water from the toilet basically. And then when you come back and deposit your droppings, you can just go in there, lay a few bricks, and then bam, lay a few bricks, and then bam, you are in. Bill Gates. Okay, let's say Bill Gates toilet. Bill Gates toilet project. Because I remember he once made a toilet where Africans can, and he even came to Africa to try and explain the thing why it didn't take off. I think it was expensive. Here it is. Bill Gates poses next to human poo to show off his reinvented toilet. This is weird, bruh. Like imagine that Bill Gates is able to drink from his own. Microsoft founder Bill Gates has posed alongside a jar of human poo to showcase his reinvented toilet tech. This is also unsanitary, but hey, who am I? Let's hear. What does he have to say? Look at the rural communities, people. Like, it's very, 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 very bad. Wow. Look at the old toilets that the rural communities use, people. Waste to fertilizer. Not bad. Hi guys, I'm out of data. Damn, guys. I could have continued this, but I'm out of data. Anyways, I know what he's talking about. Basically, he's talking about reusing human poo feces, the water, you can cleanse it so you can re-drink it, thus lowering the cost of getting access to clean drinkable water. Now the problem becomes these toilets are expensive. Just installing one of these bad boys, but he proposed that he can take some of his money and deposit it to this project so that it's clean. It's bad. It's bad because I feel like if you want to solve a problem, you shouldn't just throw money at it. It's not gonna solve itself. You should actually go to the root of the problem and solve it from there. And the problem from here, I feel like it's the lack of infrastructure and access to clean water. That's the problem. You can't just throw money and expect it to be clean. No. Like if you can put in the infrastructure and then you put in some money, obviously it's gonna work out. But now the infrastructure itself is expensive. So I'm thinking maybe we're looking at this wrong. All right, this is what I'm thinking, guys. Okay, so now what we know is we need energy to clean the water. So now I'm thinking we can use solar power, wind power, and water power for energy. But now the problem with these three, do you see? Solar, wind, and what is this? Water. The problem with these three is that these things are weak. Solar power is weak. Okay, let me explain why I say it's weak. Solar power is weak. You have to like charge it. If you're trying to like use the power from solar power, you have to take the energy and then store it, and then you can use it. That's what I'm saying. It's weak and it's slow. Weak and slow. Wind power is fast. It's fast and it's strong. You turn that thing. That's how coal is made, by heating up the water, and then the steam turns the turbines, and then electricity is made. It's strong. But now the problem is it's scarce. That's what I'm saying. Solar is slow. It's slow, but this one is scarce. It's scarce. Your wind power is scarce. So now what do we have left is water power. Water power, I believe water power can be used in assisting us to conquer all these problems. We can use water power and waterfall and rivers. Yo guys, I can't write. Waterfalls and rivers to clean the water. The reason why I said solar, wind, water, it's because these are renewable. These are renewable energies. Renewable sources that will help reduce the cost of paying. Now, there's also one that is very durable and lasts a long time, and that is very dangerous to dispose of. It's called nuclear energy. Now, hear me out, guys. Nuclear energy is good. It's energy that can expand and be reused again. Now, if we can put an AI on that thing to make sure that this thing doesn't go self-destruct mode, and you dispose the waste into space, and then you have solved the energy issues of most problems in this world. Now, the problem about that is we don't have the technology yet. But when we do have the technology, I suggest we do nuclear energy. But for now, we'll just stay with water energy, water power, your dams and your things. Now, the cleaning process. The chemicals, do we also need money to get the chemicals? Then what you have to pay for now is the chemicals and the transportation. These are the two things that's left: the chemical and the transportation. Now, how are we going to solve the chemical issue? Guys, I have a new idea. We use the energy from the wind, and instead of taking feces, we use like a membrane structure to separate the water from the feces. Simple. Am I wrong? To separate the water from the feces. Now, that's gonna help us because we can just take seawater, run it through the membrane. What you have on the left now is clean water. Simple. Now, that's how we go around the chemicals part. Now, how are we going to transport that clean water? Because it needs to get to each individual housing. Now, I think that if we can like decrease the energy and the cleaning process, transporting it shouldn't be that expensive. It should be mildly expensive, mildly. Anyways, yeah. So the only thing they'll be paying for is transportation. That's it. Anyway, guys, that's the solution to the water issues in South Africa. Obviously, this was just for fun, but there are pretty good ideas in here. If you want to use them, sure. If you have any ideas that you can add on, let's do that. And yeah, make the world a better place, I guess.